All right, so we're going to talk about this. And yes, you see me in all my bedtime stuff. 2 Kings, chapter 8? The story of King Nam. Let's just go there, okay? The way God just continues to prove himself is, one, amazing to me. But also, there was a message in that and a lesson in that if y'all didn't catch it. And if you haven't read 2 Kings, go ahead and read it because it's juicy. Because I've been having something to say on it every day. So first of all, King Nam was like, I got leprosy. His servant, first of all, King Nam, if you think about it, wasn't even interested in getting healed. He was just like, it is what it is, you know. His servant was the one who was like, hey, why don't you try to go get healed from, this prophet? So pretty much King Nam sent out, the letter to Prophet Elisha, and Elisha was pretty much like, hey, bro, all right, you got leprosy. Go dip yourself in this river 7 times and God will heal you, right? Simple task. He was going for a swim. Simple task, right? But no, King Nan, servant Nan. Who he was? Nan, the man Nan. I hope I'm saying his name right. He was like, what? What do you mean just go dip myself in water? Like, that's not how I expected the God of Israel to work. Like, what are you talking about, bro? The issue is that Nan had an expectation of how God would heal him, how God would move for him, and how God would show up for him. That's the problem. We got to get rid of our expectations on how God's going to move, especially if God said he's going to do something for us. Because if the Lord tells you, oh, you're going to get your business, let's say you're going to get $1,000. He does not tell you how. But there are people who have unrealistic expectations of God to just drop $1,000 on them like that. Now, I'm not saying God can't do it and God won't do it, but God might not do it that way. If you notice, and now I've noticed in the Bible, God always has you do a certain task. He always has you work for his blessing to come to fruition. God just doesn't give out handouts. For example, when Elisha was praying over the boy who died, right, on the bed, he had to do it twice before the boy got breath in his body. Twice. He didn't just say, oh, wake up. Because if you notice, he sent his servant to go lay his staff on his head, and he didn't wake up. But he only came back to life when Elisha laid out on top of him and prayed for him twice. He had to do work. He didn't just tap him and it was done. He had to put in work. So if God gives you specific instructions, do what God told you to do. Be obedient, suck it up, kill your expectation, and let God come through you how God wants to come through for you.